Welcome to Stick to Sports. I'm Zach Mallowan.
And I'm Joey Pulatsky. Today we recap the NCAA basketball championship games, the first few days of the MLB season, and we make our MLB award predictions.
Roll it.
Now,
The UConn Huskies won the NCAA men's basketball championship game on Monday for the 5th time in their program's history. The Huskies defeated the San Diego State Aztecs 76-59 behind 19 points, 10 rebounds, and 4 assists from senior guard Tristan Newton. Joey, UConn won every game this tournament by double digits. What do you think made UConn such a dominant team?
Zach, they just dominated it in every single facet of the game. Offensively, defensively, three-point shooting, inside, the depth. Everything you could ask for. I mean, you look at Adama Sanogo inside, guys like Newton and Hawkins from downtown. My favorite player in this tournament, Andre Jackson from Albany. My mom works with his mom, Trish, back home, so shout out to Andre and Trish. I mean, just this UConn team was so dominant because, again, they just did everything. Regardless of what you're going to try to take away from this UConn team, if you want to try to limit them inside, they'll shoot it. If you want to try to take away from beyond the arc, you're going to have to deal with the most outstanding player in the tournament, and Sanogo inside. They just did everything, and with the depth, they could do it for 40 minutes, and it was just as simple as that. Everywhere on the basketball court, they're better than you.
Yeah, the one thing I look at every year in the NCAA tournament, guard play. It really stood out. Two guards who completely controlled the game, like Tristan Newton and Jordan Hawkins. Hawkins averaged 16 points per game on 50% shooting from three-point land throughout the tourney. Tristan Newton averaged 9, 6, and 5 in this tourney. Unbelievable stuff from both of them. So if you have two guards that can control the game as well as score at will, like these two guys, shout out to, of course, Andre Jackson, the other guard, but Adama Sanogo down low got the job done, and that's why UConn was so dominant. The guard play really stepped up.
We have to acknowledge the coaching, too, as well. Danny Hurley, what he's done, I mean, the video that's been surfacing from a couple years ago with, you better be ready, we're coming. He's been phenomenal for this UConn team, and they got a bright future as well. LSU defeated Iowa 102-85 on Sunday to take the school's first NCAA women's basketball trophy back to Baton Rouge. It was a day full of offense as LSU's 102 points and the total of 187 points set both single-team and combined score records in the championship game. Another record was set off the court as 9.9 million people tuned in, which set an NCAA women's basketball single-game record. Zach, you got Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, ton of scoring. It was a great game, but your favorite takeaway from Sunday?
I think it had to be the scoring from both teams. 102-86 in a championship game. I believe this season in women's college basketball put them on the map. It was unbelievable stuff from both of them. Caitlin Clark dominated almost every game. About Clark and Reese, if one of them is going to trash talk, I think the other's allowed to trash talk back. But both of these teams did a really, really good job. Caitlin Clark especially dominating in a lot of these games.
I think there's been a handful of nonsense since the game ended that's just been put out by the media, it seems. Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese have quickly shut down. But I want to kind of say that it's a good thing because it means that people are talking about the game. It's bad narratives, but people, they have reason to talk about women's basketball. It was a phenomenal game. The game starts on the court. You need to do something on the court to even get to that point. It's not a good point to be at, but on court, what these teams did with Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, the stars, the depth on LSU, it was a great game. Women's basketball is clearly in a great spot.
Switching gears to Major League Baseball, the New York Yankees have had a strong start to 2023 with 2 series wins against the Giants and the Phillies. New York beat Philly 4-2 earlier today behind 6 1/3 innings from Garrett Cole and a couple of ribbies from Gleyber Torres as well as Jose Trevino. Joey, what has stood out to you the most for the Yankees?
In all honesty, Zach, it's been the pitching. You have guys, Carlos Rodon, Luis Severino, Nestor Cortez, who started the season on the IL, as well as Frankie Montas. But guys like you've seen Johnny Brito make a good start. Clark Schmidt stepped up. The arms have been stepping up. We knew the bats were going to be hot eventually. Coming out of the gates hot, it's always a good sign. DJ LeMahieu's back to being fully healthy. Gleyber Torres is a sneaky MVP in these first few weeks. Aaron Judge and Giancarlo are bashing. You knew the bats were going to get hot eventually. It's nice they came out of the gates hot, but really, in my eyes, it's been the pitching depth that they have at the minor leagues and able to bring guys up. We all know the Yankees are going to face injuries at least some point. To know there's arms when guys go down throughout the season is a good spot for the Bronx Bombers.
Yeah, the bullpen really stands out to me. Loizaga, Marinaccio, King, Wandy. I'm still a little bit unsure on Clay Holmes, but had a great game today. And Canely is going to come back from injury. I also have to give a big shout out to Gleyber Torres. What he's doing is unbelievable. 3 for 4 today with 2 ribbies. A statement season this year is coming from Gleyber Torres.
After taking 3 of 4 in Miami to start the season, the New York Mets went to Milwaukee and dropped all 3 games, being shut out a combined 19-0 in the first 2 games and blowing a 6-2 lead before giving up 5 unanswered runs and being walked off today. Zach, your thoughts on the first couple series from the New York Mets?
It's been really ugly so far for the New York Mets, and the offense has been really inconsistent. The bullpen has been absolutely horrendous so far. 7 or more runs in all 3 games against Milwaukee in this past series. It doesn't come down to missing Justin Verlander. They need help basically everywhere, the Mets. They're really struggling right now. They got to hope that the bats find something out of really not a lot right now.
Yeah, I mean, you heard Max Scherzer in the postgame press conference yesterday saying that it starts with him, a team that's losing 10-0 and 9-0 on back-to-back days. Yes, you're going to need better pitching out of your starter, and yes, out of the bullpen, giving up 10 and 11 back-to-back, or 10 and 9, on back-to-back days, of course, unacceptable. But there's no momentum, no fire starter, nothing happening on this offense, and I think that's where it all starts. You got to want to go out in the field, and you're going to want to play defensively if the bats are moving and getting hot. I just don't think this Mets lineup has the depth. I've said it coming into this year, and now as well, it's being proven in these first couple weeks or these first couple series. But this Mets lineup just really isn't that great.
We're going to take a quick break here on Stick to Sports. Up next, we make some MLB season predictions and discuss the latest storylines out of the NBA. Stay tuned on WTOP 10.
Jill told me it was Kitty from Glee. Yeah, what is it?
It's Al Roker.
We're here for you, we're here for you. This is your channel 2. With sports and news and what to do, we're here for you. It's your TV, you're watching WTOP. Your TV, thanks for watching WTOP.
What's going on?
Yeah, dude, we go on at like 11:30. It's like,
No.
what do you mean no?
It's 10:30.
10:30?
Yeah, it's 10:30.
What do you mean it's 10:30?
Hey, don't touch that. That's my ladder.
Hey, man.
Whoa.
You know this book was already discounted 10%?
Wow.
Wow.
Get a close up of that one.
Matthew.
Look at that.
Can we go back inside? I want to sleep in the studio again.
Welcome back to Stick to Sports. The MLB season is underway. However, that doesn't mean we can't make some predictions for the end of the year. Let's start off with the MVP. First, Joey, in the American League, who will win the AL MVP?
Plain and simple, it's Aaron Judge. I don't know how you go against it. A guy you see there, plus 400. You see Ohtani leading, plus 200. Judge at plus 400. Mike Trout, Julio Rodriguez, Yordan Alvarez round out 3, 4, and 5 most likely. But I'm going Aaron Judge, a guy that had such a dominant season last year, coming back hungry for more with the contract and some stability as well.
Yeah, I'm going with Aaron Judge as well, plus 400. I mean, I don't think he'll have 62 home runs, but let me know if a team can stop this guy, especially with no shift on the left side. Now we look at the NL. Who you got?
On the NL side, I have a guy that's actually not on here. You see Juan Soto, Mookie Betts, Ronald Acuna Jr., Manny Machado, Nolan Arenado, the top 5. I'm going to go with a guy who's teammates with Ronald Acuna Jr., actually, Austin Riley. I think he's a guy that has the sneaky, can put up numbers this year. A guy that compares, in my eyes, with Vladimir Guerrero, Aaron Judge, Shohei Ohtani. A great hitter, protected behind Matt Olson as well. I think he's got a chance to win the NL MVP this year.
It's a good thing you didn't say Ronald Acuna, because that's my guy. That's who I'm going with. They're 5-1 to start the year. I think they have a great shot to end up running the National League at the end of the season. This guy's going to end up leading the charge. This team has made it to the World Series before. They have a lot of experience and a lot of players that can get the job done for them. I'm looking for Acuna to win it in the NL. Next, we'll take things to the pitcher's mound for the Cy Young Award. Joey, who's going to win it in the AL?
This is really my biggest lock of all these picks. Number 3 on there, Dylan Cease at plus 850. A guy that locates the fastball well, goes in and out, up and down pretty well, but the curveball and his off-speed stuff has more break than anybody in the entire league. It's disgusting. I like Cole. I feel like a homer if I went with that. I feel like that's probably a little bit of me being a homer talking, so I'm going with Dylan Cease. Again, Cole, DeGrom, Cease, Ohtani, McClanahan, the top 5 on the graphic there.
So I'm going to go with Cole, but I will give a little bit for Shane McClanahan, because I think he's been really good so far. 2 quality starts. I think the Rays will be around postseason time. But let's switch things to the NL now. Who's going to win it in the NL?
Top guy right there, Sandy Alcantara, a guy that last night, just under 2 hours, 100 pitches on the dot. A guy that's just extremely unstoppable. The AL has way more arms in my eyes than NL. I think Sandy Alcantara takes this one pretty easily.
We're going to agree on that one. I don't think there's many pitchers in the same league as Alcantara in the National League. I think he's going to dominate this year. Finally, Joey, what is your World Series prediction for this season?
Blue Jays are going to take it. I think the Toronto Blue Jays go ahead and knock off the St. Louis Cardinals in the World Series this year. I think it's two of the
Blue Jays over the Cardinals.
I think
neither on this list.
I think it's the 2 best lineups in baseball. I think when you look at what the Blue Jays have, starting at the top with Alek Manoah in the starting rotation and ending in the bullpen with Jordan Romano, you look at the entire starting lineup, Bo Bichette, Vlad Guerrero. I think they have the pieces there. The Cardinals then, I think Nolan Arenado, Paul Goldschmidt, 2 guys that are kind of getting towards the back end of the career, still looking for a ring to prove it. They're guys, and Adam Wainwright's there too as well. Wilson Contreras with a bit of youth behind the plate. I really like the Cardinals, and I like the Blue Jays to beat them.
So I'm going to go with the Yankees against the Padres. I do think the Yankees finally beat the Astros, but I'm going to go with the Padres to win it all. They'll win it in 7, a ton of bats in the lineup, and when Musgrove is healthy, this pitching rotation is absolutely lethal.
I'd love to see the Yankees in it, but again, I just feel like that's my gut talking. Moving over to the NBA, Joel Embiid went for 52 points on 20 of 25 from the field and 12 of 13 from the free throw line in Philadelphia's 79th game of the season as the 76ers took down Boston 103-101. It's a nice win for the 3 seed in the East in Philly over the 2nd-seeded Celtics, but the MVP race has shifted drastically. Zach, is this the bow on Embiid's MVP season, or is the award still up for grabs?
I think this race is completely over. I think it closed it out. He closed it out last night with 52. I just don't think there's anyone else in the race. Mavs are struggling, so Luka's out of the conversation. Jokic has been banged up all season long, even though they're the 1 seed. I think Giannis has done the same. I think Embiid has had a better regular season than Giannis Antetokounmpo. He completely deserves it. It's been a long time coming for a guy like Embiid, who's been in the race almost every single year. I think he will win it in the end.
So before the year, the top 3 favorites were Luka, Embiid, and Jokic in that order. You went with the favorite Doncic on the opening night. I think I went with Steph Curry. I think it's Embiid's, without a doubt. I mean, if you look at how much the Vegas line shifted after last night, usually a decent tell. Jokic got up to, I think he was about minus 250 in mid-February. After last night, Embiid's at minus 875. I mean, the award's locked up. Joel Embiid's going to take it home. And a guy, again, like you said, it's been a long time coming for him. With just a few games left in the NBA regular season, and this being our last show until the postseason starts, let's look ahead a bit into the NBA postseason. Back on opening night, October 18th, 2022, Zach took the Celtics over the Warriors, the top 2 preseason odds at the time, while I took the Nuggets over the Bucks, who go into the playoffs as the top seed in their respective conferences. Zach, you're sticking with the with your preseason prediction. You're going to make an adjustment here. What do we got?
I'm sticking with it. Warriors against the Celtics as we look at the odds. The Bucks lead the way. Celtics, Suns, Sixers, and then Golden State and Denver are tied at plus 950. But I'm going Warriors, Celtics. I do think the Warriors are going to win it in the end. The Warriors' experience matters when facing a team like the Warriors. I do think that Celtics can handle the pressure of beating Philly and Milwaukee.
I'm with you. I'm sticking with my guns here. I think Denver takes it over Milwaukee, like I said at the start of the year. I don't think Denver, I mean, they've been disrespected on the odds line all year coming into it, and now you see them there at minus 950. They've just been disrespected. Now that we have our finals predictions locked in, who do we think could make some noise who may not be considered a mainstream pick right now? The top 10 teams from each conference make the postseason with seeds 5 through 10 going on the road, so we'll count those underdog teams as our sleepers. Zach, your team making a Cinderella run to the finals.
So they're not going to make it to the finals. I will say that I'm loving what the Sacramento Kings have done all season long, and they're not going to end up running into Golden State. So I'm going Kings, Warriors, Western Conference Finals. Go Kings, baby.
I'm going to go with the Cavaliers. I like your pick of the Kings. I really like, again, DeMontis Sabonis, Kevin Huerter, a couple big additions. De'Aaron Fox has been nice, but I'm with the Cleveland Cavaliers here. I think Donovan Mitchell is a guy that's shown his capability over the years to just put a team on his back and get it done when he has to. I think the Cavs get it done to Donovan Mitchell. Again, I mean, we saw him in the bubble do it. I think he's going to do it again this year. He's going to put the team on the back. I don't know if they're going to win the finals, but I think they'll make something happen. We have to take a quick break. When we come back, Zach will be joined by Ben Diamond. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Stick to Sports on WTOP 10.
Say, President Stanley, whenever there's bad weather, who would you turn to?
I'd turn to Storm Team 10.
No, but you've got to say it like this. Storm Team 10. Say it with me. Storm Team 10.
Roll it.
Jill told me it was Kitty from Glee. Yeah, what is it?
Al Roker.
Welcome back to Stick to Sports. It's time for the fast break. Joining me now is Ben Diamond, one of our producers. Ben, what do you have for us tonight?
Thanks, Zach. Baltimore Orioles top prospect and the number 6 prospect in all of baseball, Grayson Rodriguez, made his MLB debut earlier today, facing off against the Texas Rangers and Jacob deGrom. Rodriguez had a solid start to his MLB career, tossing 5 innings of 2-run ball, allowing 4 hits and 1 walk while striking out 5 batters. Rodriguez is poised to become the anchor of the Orioles rotation for years to come and joins Adley Rutschman and Gunnar Henderson as top prospects to make it to the big leagues to the big league Cub. Zach, can this Orioles team build on their overachieving 2022 season with the roster they've built this year?
The Orioles are definitely a team to watch out for. I think they end up making the playoffs after just missing it a season ago. The one thing that worries me is their bullpen. They gave up way too many runs. They gave up a couple walk-offs against Boston. But looking at their lineup, Rutschman, Mountcastle, Mullins, and Moore, it's going to be a tough lineup to stop. I like this team. I think they're going to be dangerous come postseason time.
Yeah, they were really good. And I mean, focusing on Rodriguez, a 2.49 career ERA in the minors to couple with a .96 whip and 421 total strikeouts. Just really impressive stuff from somebody who is their top prospect and number 6 in all of baseball. But I mean, last year the Orioles finishing 83 and 79, really overachieving. I mean, they finished 4th place in a stacked AL East. Nobody thought that they would be even in any contention, but at one point during that season, it felt like the Orioles could make some noise in the playoffs. Unfortunately, they fell a little short, but we'll see what happens this season. With only a few games remaining on the regular season schedule, the NHL playoff picture is almost complete. With the top 3 in every division already locked into a playoff spot, all eyes fall on each conference's 2 wildcard spots. At the moment, the top 2 spots in the East belong to the Florida Panthers and the New York Islanders, while the West has the Seattle Kraken and Winnipeg Jets. Both wildcard races are far from over, however, and will most likely come down to the final game of the season. Zach, who do you have finishing in each conference's wildcard spots?
So I have it same as is in the West right now. Kraken and the Jets, I don't think there's a team that's going to catch them. The Flames are around there. The Predators are around there. But I think the Kraken and the Jets coming out of the West in the wild card. I think in the East, I'm going to have the Islanders and the Penguins. Obviously, the Panthers are top spot right now in the wild card, but they have 2 really strong tests to end their season. I don't think they'll get by in the end. I'm going with the Islanders and the Penguins.
Yeah, I mean, this race is extremely close. The Islanders and the Panthers both tied right now with 87 points. The Penguins chasing 1 point behind with 86. And each of them have the same amount of games remaining on their schedule, each with 4. So it really could come down to that final game. The Sabres sitting 6 points back. Still have a chance, however, it is fleeting right now. And Calgary, Nashville sitting a couple points back of Winnipeg. It is getting very close at the end of this NHL season. Moving over to the NFL, even though it's the offseason, there is still always a lot of news coming out of the NFL. First, it was Aaron Rodgers, then Lamar Jackson, and now it is Mac Jones. With Lamar Jackson possibly being traded by the Ravens before the start of the new NFL season, Bill Belichick has already started to shop young quarterback Mac Jones with the hopes of landing the former MVP. With Rodgers still on the market as the Packers continue to hold out the Jets as long as they can, the Patriots throw their hat in the ring to put another top quarterback into the AFC East. Zach, what do you think of these surrounding rumors?
So Mac Jones has been getting hate for a while. You look at his 2 NFL seasons, 3,800 yards in 2021, a pretty solid season, 22 touchdowns, 13 picks, 7 fumbles. Then in 2022, it really went downhill. Only 14 games played, just under 3,000 yards, 14 TDs with 11 picks and 5 fumbles. If the Jets get Aaron Rodgers, the Patriots clearly have the worst quarterback in this division. I think he'll stay this year. When they added Juju Smith-Schuster, they gave him a couple of guys, but I think they'll be okay. I think he'll stay in New England this year.
Yeah, I agree. I don't really see why they'd move away, especially because the transition from play styles between Lamar Jackson and a Brady and Jones type of quarterback, I don't really see how the transition can happen right now when they're trying to build Mac Jones into this roster.
And we'll take a quick break here on Stick to Sports. Thanks once again to Ben for the fast break. When we come back, Joey, Ben, and I will head into extra innings. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Stick to Sports on WTOP 10.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Shine on that black. Look at the bling. Look at do we got a diamond tester on? Yeah, that's getting bad. Yep.
10 out of 10 recommend on Yelp.
We're going to the playoffs. I can't believe I missed that. Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone. What? I should take your phone away. No. I'll call for a ride. Hey, why does my face look like that?
I'm playing with these new face filters.
Okay, you know what? Yep, that's mine.
I'm gonna need that back.
No.
Kevin!
Welcome back to Stick to Sports. It is time for Season 2 of Extra Innings. Right now, I believe we have Zach Malamud in the lead. Congratulations, Zach. Zach Malamud in the lead.
Somebody catch me.
Right now.
Guys,
7 and
somebody
3.
catch you. I gotta wipe the floor last semester.
I am
4-1.
Oh, I don't want to talk about last week. I don't want to talk about it.
Ben, you're tanking for
I'm
Wemby.
tanking for
Wemby.
For Wemby, yeah, exactly. But we have a new week, so it doesn't matter. Last week doesn't matter anymore.
We're starting the total record, but sure.
No, it doesn't matter. We're starting with the XFL. The Defenders at the Sea Dragons. The Sea Dragons are favored at -2. Zach, who you got?
I'm going with the Sea Dragons. Ben DiNucci, former Cowboys quarterback. He was there for like 2 games. Josh Gordon, too. I don't have any comment on that, but we're going with the Sea Dragons.
Going with the Defenders. I should have done a little bit more research on the rosters, but you said they were -2?
Yeah.
Give me the favorite. I got to make up some
No,
ground
the
on
Sea
Zach.
Dragons
Dragons are
You know, I'm
-2.
still going Defenders. I got to make up some ground on Zach. So this is going to be a coin flip game for me.
I'm going
all based off all the research.
I'm going with Zach because Ben DiNucci, he's going to take us to the promised land.
How about
Sea
them
Dragons
Cowboys?
-2. That is the pick. Padres at Braves. Braves favored at -195. Joey P, who you got?
I like the Braves in this. I think this is going to be a great game. This will be part of my lock of the week. You'll hear my spin on it in just a minute. I like the Braves. Just home field. The bats have been so hot. Strider on the mound in this one. I think it's going to be a pitcher's duel, but I think the Braves take it.
Yeah, so the line's a bit heavy towards the Braves, but I'm going with them. I think Snell is going to struggle again. A couple guys in the Braves lineup have been really strong against lefties this year.
I'm going to go with the Padres. I'm going to take a little disagreement here. I really like the Padres lineup. I think even if Snell struggles, I think the offense is going to pick him up and take this one home because, I mean, this Padres team is just really, really good. Now we're going to do a little something different. The Masters champion. This could be interesting because there are a lot of golfers. So this is going to be very interesting. Zach, who you have winning the Masters?
I hate to be that guy, but I'm going with the favorite, Rory McIlroy, plus 550. I think this is the best chance for him to win it. It's the only one he hasn't won. He's been scorching hot lately. I'm going with Rory.
Give me Scotty Scheffler. I don't know anything about golf. My boy Aiden from back home, who knows golf, he told me Scotty Scheffler, so we're going with Scotty Scheffler.
I was watching TikTok earlier, and I saw something that really helped me with this pick.
Oh, jeez.
Jordan Spieth doesn't lose on Easter. He does not lose on Easter.
Okay.
He hasn't lost on Easter the last few years.
Has the Masters
Jordan
been on Easter?
Spieth is going to win the Masters on Easter Sunday.
Stage might be too big for him.
He's going to win the Masters on Easter Sunday. It's been foretold.
That's research.
It's been foretold. But now we're moving over to UFC. Israel Adesanya at -135 versus Alex Pereira. Joey P, who are you winning?
Alex Pereira takes him. Pereira's just haunted Adesanya his entire career. I think Pereira takes this one inside 3 rounds. Going to put him to sleep. I've really liked Izzy, but Pereira just has his number. Izzy hasn't made up any strides on him, and Pereira takes him.
I'm going with Pereira as well. An unbelievable camp. I took Izzy last time. Izzy and Usman's eras, they're over.
Adesanya is my favorite UFC fighter in the world right now, so
Nice.
I'm going with Izzy. I'm going separate from these guys. This is what makes me 0-5. But we're going to get over to our locks of the week. Zach, let's start with you.
I'm going Minnesota, Frozen 4, plus 150 to win the Frozen 4. I'm taking that. Plus money? Oh, yeah.
Who you got, Joey?
That Padres-Braves game we discussed earlier, Blake Snell, Spencer Strider, a couple of elite pitchers. These lineups are both so good as well. Give me the over in the game. The under is too obvious. Give me the over.
What is the over?
First half over, Padres-Braves, over 2.5, first 5 innings.
Nationals versus Rockies at Coors Field. Josiah Gray versus Kyle Freeland. Hammer the 10.5 over. hammering. There's
Wait.
no way.
Wait, Josiah Gray.
Josiah Gray versus Kyle Freeland.
I'm changing my lock of the week. CJ Crone, home run tomorrow night. Off Josiah Gray. Because Josiah Gray led the league last year in home runs given up. CJ Crone's been hot out of the gate. CJ Crone, home run tomorrow night. Put the bank account on it.
Lock 10.5 over
that's
Nationals versus Rockies.
And it'll play, so we could both win.
Yeah.
Home run goes, over hits.
Minnesota. Plus 150, Frozen 4. That'll do it for Extra Innings. That's all the time we have on today's episode of Stick to Sports. Be sure to tune back in Wednesday, April 19th, right here on WTOP 10.